What's up, guys? Matchstick Gamer here. There's no script, so I'm doing this, sort of on the fly, if you will. There's some new chapter information that just came out for the next chapter of Dragon Ball Super, and unfortunately, it is not the best. Let me be upfront. Geekdom has already made a video on this, and I believe he actually uploaded it roughly about 5 minutes ago at the time of me recording this. And let me be also clear at this time, much like him, there are no translations for me to share at this time. I'm watching a live update as some translations come out, but it's not complete, and I don't want to share incomplete translations. But, that said, I will share with you these draft images. The keyword there is draft images, meaning that these are going to look rough, they're not going to look the best. So just understand that these are not the finalized versions, things can change. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into this. This is going to be a bit of a rant. I can't stress that enough. It's going to be a rant because I'm mad about this and I'm not too happy. You'll see why, and I'll explain my reasoning. So we get this nice little image here of Goku. Don't know what he's saying. I can't read this. I'm not going to even act like I can read any of this. Like, the only thing I recognize here is the number 2. That's the only character I recognize. Then there's some stuff here probably talking about the previous chapter or the current chapter. This is an image from the last chapter of Goku shoryukening Moro's gut. And then we start to get into these images here, which I'll zoom in on. Again, these are drafts. I know they look rough. These are drafts. They're intentionally meant to look rough. You got Krillin here holding a senzu bean bag. Krillin says something, probably talking about what's going on here. We see the bag, and it's like clearly emphasizing the bag. We scroll down. Goku puts out his hand, fires, I'm assuming either ki or a wave of energy, turning the stone that Moro was under to dust. We see Moro's face. Goku says something. Moro sort of rises up, says some stuff, shot. Goku moved, and over to Krillin, tosses Krillin. Moro's like, oh, he moved. This clearly shows that Goku's like really freaking fast. Gets the senzu beans from Krillin. Krillin's like, huh? Shot. Goku then moves away again, gets near Moro. Moro shot yet again. They're having some sort of back and forth. Goku throws a senzu bean at Moro. Moro and him have more conversation. Krillin, of course, shot. Jocko shot. Moro really confused and shot. Eats said senzu bean. Krillin's like freaking out because of this. Obviously, stupid move. Moro like, oh, shock, my energy's been restored. I'm perfectly fine now. Everything's back to normal on him and stuff. However, we can see that the crystal is still busted. So anybody was wondering if the senzu might fix Moro's shattered crystals and restore his absorbing abilities or the 7-3 ability anyways. Nope. That didn't restore it. So, because clearly it's still cracked even after eating a senzu. Anyways, they have some more back and forth. Moro then charges at Goku to try to hit him, and that's the end of the preview pages. So, now that I've covered the pages as impartial as I can, let's talk about what takes me off. Specifically, the senzu bean thing. You cannot tell me that Goku, after doing this one time already, a Goku that is way more wise than he was before, would be stupid enough to repeat the same mistake in his life twice. Goku is given Moro a senzu bean. This is literally a rehashing of Cell. This whole arc has been nothing but Toyotaro picking a little bit from here and there. There's a little bit from the Piccolo stuff. There's a little bit from Frieza. There's a little bit from Cell. There's a little bit from Majin Buu. And normally they ain't too bad of a thing. Okay, cool. You're getting the nostalgia goggles going. Nice. But there is a point where it just kind of crosses a line. This is crossing a line. This is poor writing. Toyotaro is a bad writer. I said it. A lot of people try to accuse me of not being critical, super, or not critical enough. That's because most of the time, I try to be nice about it. I try to at least say, look, they at least fixed this, or this was corrected, or this was better explained later. Because there are valid excuses for a lot of this stuff. This is inexcusable. I know Goku's character is all about forgiving, and he could have easily forgiven Moro without throwing him the senzu bean. That was an unnecessary move. He could have walked out there and been like, you know what, I ain't gonna kill him, I'm just gonna fight him. Didn't have to give him a senzu bean for that still. There's no need to give him a senzu. None. Zero. Zilch. Nada. I can't forgive Moro for this, and nothing about it made sense to me. Again, I know it's in Goku's character to be overly forgiving of a character, to try to give them a second chance. I know that. But bear in mind, every time he's done it, he never repeated the same mistake in how he did it. He didn't like turn his back on him like he did with Frieza. He hasn't given him a senzu bean again, except until now. Things like that. He he even managed to kill off Kid Buu and give him a second chance at life by having him reincarnate. You see how stupid it is? This irritates me to no end because it just doesn't make sense. Toyotaro's a bad writer. I'm going to stand by that. Frankly, I feel Dragon Ball Super as a whole would have been better if Toriyama would have been the sole writer for it, him by himself. I know he doesn't like to draw, so what he could have done is either just write the whole plot and let Toei animate it, or alternatively, he could have wrote the whole thing, start to finish, like every single plot detail, even the descriptions of what happens in the image, draw a basic, what's the word I'm looking for here, concept art for everything. There we go. That's the word. I'm doing this off the cuff. I'm not really editing anything, honestly. He could have done concept art and then had someone else draw it. It could have been Toyotaro even. He really didn't need to write any of it. Or, better yet, they could have got Dragon God Lee to do it. I've stated this many times before and I stand by it. Toyotaro is worse than Dragon God Lee. Dragon God Lee is the guy that wrote the short but funny Yamcha manga. I found that hilarious, and I find his art style to be very, 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 very close to Toriyama's. And they should have went with this guy. I don't know what Toriyama sees in Toyotaro. It really beats me, and I'm losing more faith in this man every day. I kept trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, especially since he, took the helms with this particular arc. This is all Toyotaro. This is not Toriyama. Toriyama does approve the chapters, but he doesn't write or give any outlines for the Moro stuff. That was not Toriyama. There's literally enough information out there for us to know that Toriyama has zero involvement with Moro. This is not Toriyama. Toriyama does approve the chapters to get published, but, and this is my speculation, I don't think Toriyama's actually sitting there like reading these chapters looking for quality. I think all he's doing is just looking at them, making sure that they look good enough to get published, and then lets them go and get published. I don't think he's really sitting there reading everything front to back, inside out, seeing if the plot makes sense, if it's good, if it's not a rehash, things like that. I don't think he's seriously doing that. Because what I know about Toriyama, who's an openly and admittedly himself a lazy person, I just don't see him doing that. So I'm sorry if I sound irritated or if this sounds petty or stupid to rant about. And I've already seen people on Twitter, for example, saying oh, this is stupid. Dragon Ball fans are toxic to be ranting about this. No. Don't you sit there and act like we don't have a reason to complain about this. This is valid to complain about. If anything, you don't understand the more complex issues about why this is such a bad thing. Anyways, I've shared my little ranty thoughts. I don't know how long this is going to be. This is probably one of my shorter videos, honestly, because I really can't stretch this out and I didn't want to make it too long. I doubt Toriyama will ever see this, but on the off chance he does, or someone that is close to Toriyama, if you happen to see this, please translate this to him in some way, shape, or form and tell him, drop Toyotaro, tell him to pick up the pen, write the entire story, start to finish. Don't have anybody go in there and make edits beyond, necessary stuff, but have him be the primary source as far as the writing goes. Get a new artist, or just have Toyotaro be the one that draws it, but he needs to be very clear in his description of what happens and how it happens, and draw concepts. I know these are two things that Toriyama are very capable of. He is still very capable of drawing concept art, and he's still very capable of writing if he wants to, even at his current age. I'm sorry if this sounds angry, and I'm admittedly angry as a fan, because, I've given every opportunity, give benefit of the doubt. Maybe things will look good. Maybe things will change. Maybe things will improve. And you know what? I'm gonna give a little bit of hope for people that are siding with me on this, just a smidgen, that these are draft pages. This means that these could all be completely scrapped and be redone. I don't know how much time Toyotaro honestly has left, how much he's finished, how much he's submitted for approval, where it's at in terms of completion right now. These are draft pages. He could easily wipe all this and start from scratch and be like, no, I didn't actually make him give him a sense of being. Goku just straight up fights him instead. Or straight up finishes him, and then we'll move on to whatever the next arc is going to be. Alternatively, I guess maybe the only way he could turn this around is if he makes the fight between Moro and Goku just extremely epic, arguably one of the best in the franchise, but we'll see. I really don't see a way for Toyotaro to make this good. And of course, there are going to be people, diehard fans out there that'll like this no matter what, that don't look for any negativity in the franchise, because everything is good, everything's perfect, they can't do no wrong, it's Dragon Ball, everything's perfect in Dragon Ball. No, there are issues within the franchise. I'm not going to sit here and act like every single thing put out, be it by Toriyama himself, or by Toei, Toyotaro, Shueisha, whatever have you, insert animator, writer, whatever here, that's worked on Dragon Ball in any official capacity. Not all of it's perfect, not all of it's gold. But this ain't even like middle area Dragon Ball. Like, this is like pretty low end. It's still above Dragon Ball Evolution, but that's not saying much. That's all I got to say. I'm admittedly mad, and my evening hasn't been too good, and this just ain't helping. But that's all I gotta say, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned down in the description of the video in case translations get posted. I'll update the description to have the translations for these images as they come out. Again, I am watching Twitter right now through the translator I primarily use, and they're posting live translations right now, but they're not all there, and I don't want to give you incomplete translations, because that's not how I roll. But I'm sure he'll post a translation summary here very soon. But y'all have a good night or good morning, depending on when you see this. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. Check out the social media and other links down below in the description. Comment, let's have a conversation. Later, guys. Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z/Kai, Dragon Ball GT, and Dragon Ball Super are all owned by Fuji TV, Toei Animation, Funimation, and Akira Toriyama. I do not claim to own any of these. The video and any images that appear were used under fair use.